Hi there, Holly here from Easy Mind, Easy Life. Okay, so moving on from the previous topic. But still on that little thread, because I'm on a thread now, and I find that this thread has been so important and so significant to so many people. So we're talking about when you don't want to look at your past and you want to just ignore it because it was too painful. The people that keep showing up in your life, right? Whether it's partners, you seem to keep attracting the same partners, you know? And these videos are really just to get you thinking about your life, because it's your life. It's nobody else's. It's yours. And if you don't have time to look at your own life, to look at yourself, who is going to have that time? It's your life. So, yes, when we ignore our past, it's just going to keep coming back and it's going to keep repeating, you see? So ignoring the past isn't really the answer either. It's not about, oh, I'll just bury that and just look to the future, because the future is just going to be more of the same. You still have all of these things inside of you that haven't been healed yet, that you haven't looked at yet. You haven't returned them to love. You haven't said, oh, I get it now. That's not me, right? I am worthy of love. I always was, and I always will be. I am good enough. I was good enough then. I am good enough now, and I always will be. And it's not for what you do or what you give or whatever. It's just for who you are. Just for who you are in this moment. You know? There are so many beautiful beings that touch so many beautiful lives, and they don't even know it. They just think, they go through their day thinking that, oh, I'm nothing. And sometimes, when I first started with this, I wrote the Your Past is a Gift, and I remember sharing it with 3 people. And out of the 3 people, there was really only one that seemed interested. And back then, I remember thinking, maybe that one is all that's needed. You affect one person. It's not that you affect, but you release one person, from their beliefs, from their judgments, from all the things that are tying them down. And then that one person, it's like a little ripple effect, goes off into the world. And it just inadvertently, without even thinking about it, it just spills out into others. And it does. Love is like that. The light is like that beautiful light inside of everybody. And some of the light, is brighter in some than others, but the light's there. It doesn't matter how depressed you feel that you are, or how sad you think your life is, or whatever state it is that you're in, In this video, I really wanted to talk about say for example, this is your day-to-day, right? And you've just had an interaction with someone and they've made you really angry, right? And you're now sitting in this space of anger, okay? Now, what I want you to do is, instead of vomiting all this verbal diarrhea back at this person, right, to let out that anger. Now, I'm not saying that expressing anger is good or bad, right? It just is. It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that that's probably something that you've always done, right? That verbal diarrhea, spit it all back, right? That anger. Or you hold it in, whatever it is that you do with your anger, right? Instead of doing that, just for today, stop. Sit with that anger, all right? You and yourself with that anger that is inside of you, right? And stop to think about, where is that anger coming from? Because I can promise you, it really had nothing to do with that person. That person is just triggering you to bring that up, right? And just an example, when I was little, You know, I felt invisible after my sister was born. I was 5 years old, and all the attention was going to her now, right? And so I felt invisible, I felt cast aside, and I felt like love had been taken away, right? My mum no longer loved me, she loved my sister. This is all the things I took on. It's all in my book, but this is all, you know, and it's also in the previous videos, I think. I've talked about it quite a lot there. But it's good to use examples because then you can see how it all comes together. So anytime, right, in my adult years that I was made to feel invisible, this would bring up this anger, right? And I would just, bleh, right, erupt. Or for a long time, I used to hold it in, you know, and then I'd go home and explode with my partner, right? And bleh, right, let it all out on them. But not once did I ever stop to think of, but where does this come from? Why am I angry in the first place? Because 99% of the time when you really look at what happened that you got angry about, it really wasn't that significant. It wasn't that important. It wasn't that big a deal. Do you know what I mean? That you could have just walked away from it and it didn't have to affect you at all. But they bring up these feelings for a reason. When you do have this anger, or you do have this, sometimes it's incredible sadness, or it can be a fear that's been created because of this belief you know, that I'm invisible now, I'm cast aside, I'm not loved anymore. These are all beliefs, right? They're not true. They're not real. They're just things you decided about yourself at that point in time. And so every time this anger comes up, you know, and I was angry for a big portion of my adult life, right? Yeah, and there were a few moments where I was quite depressed as well. I went through 2 big depressions as well. And I think they had to do with the love being taken away, you know, because that's the fear that's created there then. Oh, love is just taken away. It's not something that's permanent, but it's something that comes and goes. You know, it's like a fleeting thing. And that's not true, you know. But then one day I found myself sitting there going, why am I angry? You know, this event doesn't seem that important for me to be this angry. And from there, you just start putting it all together. Oh, it's because I decided way back when that I was invisible, that I didn't matter anymore, right? And so when people make you feel that way, anything that's not loving, you know, but even sometimes people trying to be loving to you, if you've decided you're not worthy of love, you even push that away, you know? So we need to let go of all these beliefs, all of these judgments, especially of yourself, right? You need to let go of them because they're not serving you. They're not true, because you are love. And you are loved in every single moment. And the universe is constantly trying to show you that by giving you these people and these circumstances and these events that keep coming into your life to show you that this is not true. All these things that you believe about yourself from these events in your childhood are not true. You are loved. You are so loved. It's just beyond what you could possibly imagine. I know, because I've seen it when I go into these beautiful Reiki healings. I've seen the love that is there for us, for all of us. It doesn't matter who I do the healing for. The love that is there for us is beyond incredible. It's beyond what you can imagine. But it is there all the time, in every second of every moment of your life. It has been there. All right, my darlings. I love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe below so you don't miss any of the messages. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Bye for now.